5 things you need to stop doing because they're keeping you broke.
Baby, you should know this. That I ain't going nowhere. I ain't blowing no smoke. I mean, I've been sober, but you should've known it. And I wasn't going.
What's going on, YouTube? It's your man Warren G. We are back again for another episode of the YMIT podcast. We're back, season 4, episode 2 of the series. Would you give up half your hearing to get your whole calling? I gave you a breakdown kind of my last 8 months or so. Talked about my mental health stuff. I talked about things that were going on in my life, my hearing issues, things of that nature. But today we're getting into it. We're starting the paradigm, the perception shift all over again. So we're going to start for some of the more basic concepts that I've often talked about, but we're going to talk about them in a different way. So if you haven't listened to episode 1 of season 4, go back. Well, if you haven't listened to episode 1, season 1, go back, listen to them all the way up. Anyway, today, 5 things you're doing that are keeping you broke. That's what we're talking about today. 5 things you need to stop doing because they're keeping you broke. Let's go ahead and jump right into it, man. Number 1 on the list, and I'm guilty myself of doing this in the past. Sometimes I feel like doing it in the present. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Y'all know transparency is my superpower, so I'm always gonna be real with y'all because that's all I can do. But number 1 is flexing. Yes, flexing, stunting, balling, killing the streets, killing them in the club, whatever. Okay, we got to stop that, man. That stuff is hurting us so badly. Not only in our community, in every community, because you're trying to keep up with the Joneses. That's what my parents called it, keeping up with the Joneses, or trying to look like you have more money than you actually have. So, I talk about assets and liabilities, or assets and liabilities. So what do I call liabilities? Those are the things that you use your lying abilities to make people think you have more money than you actually have. And oftentimes people buy those liabilities to flex. Okay, we got to stop flexing, dog. 2024, lead the flexing out. We can get back to flexing in 2025, but 2024, you got to stop flexing, especially if you can't afford to flex. Okay, that's number 1 on the list. Because also, not only from the perspective of how it hurts you because you're spending money to impress people who probably don't even like you. So you're spending money you don't have to impress people who don't even actually like you and probably don't care, with the intention of making yourself feel better or look better than you actually are. Not understanding the one thing that's better than looking like you have money is just actually having money. That's way better. Just trust me on this. Even if you ain't got no money, just trust me on it. I promise it's better, okay? I told you I've been on this spiritual journey. I talk about it a little bit more in depth from the perspective of what are you actually doing when you're flexing on somebody, stunting on somebody, balling on them? What are you actually doing? Or when you say, I want to pull up and kill them, first of all, who are you trying to kill? But more importantly, what are you trying to kill? You're not trying to kill them physically. When you pull up in the club, you want to get your nice fresh Benz and your red bottoms or your $600 pair of J's. You want to pull up at the club and kill them and stun on them and flex. You're not trying to kill them physically. You're trying to kill their spirit. So think about that for a second. How toxic are you that you want to kill other people's spirit, trying to make yourself feel better as if killing their spirit somehow increases yours? It doesn't. Let me give you an example of what I'm saying. You pull up to the club in your Mercedes, gas tank on E, all drinks on me. You feel me? Wiping me down. You want to pull up the VIP at the club and stun on the people in line because they're probably there trying to forget about their problems. You were like, hey, not only do I need you to remember that you got problems, I need you to remember now that you're here, you still broke. Okay, you ain't as rich as me. I need you to understand that. Okay, I feel bad and I'm trying to make myself feel better, so I need you to feel worse so that you can see me feel better. No, you're not doing that. How often do you say, no, I'm trying to get this so I can influence somebody in a positive way. I'm trying to get this so that I can help somebody else be better, so I can give them some motivation to keep going. No, you do it trying to kill somebody's spirit, You killing somebody's spirit, you're toxic. You are toxic. And that's why I had to let the flexing go, because I realized that I was doing it from a toxic perspective, that I was trying to kill the spirits of other people by making them think, man, I ain't got what he got. Man, I'm not who he is. Man, I ain't doing what he doing. I'm just going to give up. Man, I wish I could do that. No, you're being toxic. That flexing spirit is really a toxic spirit when you're not doing it with the intention of influencing somebody to do something positive. Now, if you want to show somebody, because I do like nice cars, if you want to show nice cars, so when you're mentoring young men or young women and you want to show them, hey, you don't have to be in the streets, you don't have to do crazy things in order to get these things, that's something totally different. But when you're trying to kill the spirit of your peers, you're the problem. You're toxic. We got to change that in 2024. Let go of that toxic flexing behavior. Okay. Number 2, trying to flip money with no research. Oh my God. Bro, everybody got a Forex plan. Everybody got a crypto plan. And you got $300. Man, how can I turn this into $3,000, man? I need to turn it into $3,000 overnight. Your mindset's in the right place, because you want to take your money to make money, but you're essentially just gambling. People ask me all the time, what's the quickest way for me to take this $100 and turn it into 10,000? I'm like, take it to Vegas and put it all on black, baby.
You stupid.
That's the quickest way. Now, is it the smartest way? Is it the most efficient way? Is it the most guaranteed way? No, but it is the fastest way. Okay. The thing is, you're not going to stop needing money tomorrow. So you don't always have to make it as fast as possible. You just need to build those habits so that as those habits build, your money also builds. As those habits grow and those good behaviors grow, your money also grows. That's how that is supposed to move that way. That's why you can't just always go from a gambling mindset. Man, I just need to turn 300 into 3,000 next week. Or what was it Jerome said? I give you a 500 this week. I need 1,600 back next week. Mela Yella. That ain't it. That ain't it, Chief. That is not it. I'm not saying that they're not good opportunities and you have to be in place to take those opportunities. But in order for you to properly take those opportunities when you would have a chance or opportunity to make money quicker, you have to make sure that you have a solid foundation. How you build that solid foundation is making the right decisions consistently over a long period of time. Okay. And building those habits. That's you're investing. Let me make sure that I'm investing something. Investing should be a bill for you. Do you understand me? Like, I'm talking the same way you pay your light bill, you should be investing money. Almost as if like they're going to cut me off if I don't do it. You got to have that same vigor about it when you're investing as you do when you pay your light bill, pay that cell phone bill, pay that. It is a necessity to invest. Okay, inflation is going to eat you away. That's why you ain't got no money now, because you haven't understood that it's just as much a necessity. It ain't got to be $10,000 at a time. $25 a paycheck will get you where you need to be. It at least gets you in the direction. Because right now you're standing still. A lot of y'all going backwards. But that at least gets you in the direction. Okay. So stop trying to flip your money in a fast way with no research. If you've researched it and it's a really good opportunity that you understand, not that somebody told you how to understand and they're going to create a masterclass. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with masterclasses. All I'm saying is I don't take masterclasses from anybody who has not at least filed taxes one time on the information that they're giving me. Okay, I didn't even say they need to be profitable. They may actually understand the process and lost money, which is why they understand the process now. But at the very least, I need you to go through one tax cycle, okay, of you doing that so that I can see you're actually operating a real business, not just trying to tell me that you're rich to get rich off of telling me how to get rich. No, a lot of people will, especially when you get into the wealthy, a lot of people will give you some of that information. I'm not saying don't pay for things. I'm not saying don't pay for education. I'm not saying don't pay for classes. I'm saying when you actually get into some of those higher level income earners, a lot of times they actually will look out for you and give you the game. That's what a lot of mentorship is about. Mentors typically are not always charging you something to mentor you. Not to say they won't, but more often than not, mentorship for the longest time has been something free that they just teach somebody. Okay. So just be aware of that before you just start throwing astronomical amounts of money trying to flip it quick with the get rich quick schemes and XYZ. Okay. We got to stop doing that, which takes me to number 3. Stop wasting money on dumb stuff. Okay. Now, with that being said, when I say dumb stuff, that gets really tricky understanding what counts as dumb stuff, because what's dumb to you may not be dumb to me. What's dumb to me may not be dumb to you. But you need to understand what's dumb to you and get in the habit of starting to ask yourself, is this item more important than my financial freedom? Especially if you're struggling. If you broke, now it's one thing if you can afford it. So some people like to do the rule of 3. People like to do the rule of 2. Some people like to do the rule of 5. What those rules are is if you can't buy it at least 5 times, then you can't afford it. If you can't buy it at least 3 times, then you can't afford it. If you can't buy it at least 2 times, then you can't afford it. Me, I'm more so subscribed to the rule of 2, just because I like to be realistic. Small things, yes. Rule of 5. For me, kind of how I do it, I actually talk about it. If we're talking house, we're talking car. If I couldn't buy 2 of them, then chances are I don't need it. If we're talking a dinner or a luxurious dinner or a nice dinner, if I couldn't pay for that dinner 5 times, chances are I'm not going to go there to eat. Okay. Those are the kind of things that I'm referring to. If you couldn't afford to go eat there 5 times before the next time you get paid, chances are you can't afford to go eat there, which is okay. But you need to ask yourself, is this one meal that much more important than me starting to move towards my financial freedom? I understand it's a long journey, but it starts with the first step. Okay. Do you understand me? It starts with the first step. Speaking of first step, that brings me actually to step number 4. You have got to stop spending without a budget. When you get paid, even once you get paid, before, after, whatever, you need to budget. You have got to write down how much money is coming in and how much money is going out. And you need to know that. You cannot always just leave it to the bank, because sometimes it's pending, it's in the pending transactions, and then it's in the posted transactions, and it might post late. And then I did an ACH over here and I did a debit card over here, so it came straight out. The ACH is 2 to 3 days, but I thought it had already come out. See, I sound crazy, right? And confusing. The reason I sound crazy and confusing is because it's what? Crazy and confusing. You need clarity in your finances. And that's what a budget does for you. It creates clarity inside of your finances so that you can then use your money properly. So as you're doing your budget, from there, you're able to see, this is what I have. This is what I'm bringing in. This is what I'm paying for. What can I cut? Hey, is there a place where I can add? And it also gives you this thing where it's not, I just need more money. Let's say, even if you have a negative budget, let's say it's negative by $500 a month. Man, what can I do to create $500 a month? Now you have an actual goal. So you're taking it from you trying into executing, because the only difference between trying and executing is there actually being a plan. When you're just trying to do something, there may or may not be a plan. But when you're executing, that means there was a plan in place and you're going by the parameters and the planning in which you created in order to accomplish the goal. Lastly, stop thinking sales are specifically for you. I'm guilty of this myself. I am super susceptible to internet marketing. But I see something I want and the algorithm knows I want it, because that's why the algorithm put it in my face. And I see it's on sale. I'm like, oh, it's $100 off. I got to buy it right now. No, you don't. Especially if it's not what? A need. That's step number 3 that I gave you. If you go back to that one, when I said stop purchasing dumb stuff, worry about your necessities first. Is that item that's on sale more important than your financial freedom? Your necessities are. You eating every day is more important than your financial freedom. I can assure you of this. You keeping a roof over your head is more important. Now, you still need to do it within reason, okay, and within your budget, but it is just generally more important than you having a whole lot of money in the bank, that you and your family have a safe and secure place to sleep at night. That is more important. But back to the sales. You see something that's 20% off, or it's on sale, or buy one, get one. They didn't specifically put that on sale for you. There's always things on sale. Chances are you don't even need it. If it's something you need, great. If it's something you're going to buy anyway, great. If it falls into that rule of 2 or 3 or 5, whichever one you choose for you, great. But if it doesn't fall into any of those things and you don't even need it, they did not put that on sale specifically for Warren. They didn't say, hey, Warren got paid today. Let's put this on sale. Well, they technically did because they had their algorithms to know. However, just because they did something doesn't mean that I have to fall for it or be susceptible to it. Okay. So make sure that you're controlling what you're doing and you're in control of your finance. Don't allow all these outside salespeople, all these outside algorithms, or whatever it is, to be in control of you and your finances so that you can get yourself out of being in that broke place and in that place of lack, and you can start to get yourself into a place of abundance in your finances. Okay. So just to recap those 5 things that you got to stop doing because they're keeping you broke. Flexing is number 1. Stop trying to kill people's spirits. Number 2, trying to flip money with no research. Get rich quick oftentimes actually equals get broke quick. Okay. So stop trying to get rich quick all the time. Make sure you have a strong foundation. Once you have that strong foundation, then if something comes up and you want to take a little bit more of a risk to make some money faster, great. But build that foundation first. Wasting money on dumb stuff. Take care of your necessities. That's your food, your water, your transportation, those things that are necessities to you living your life for you or you and your family or whatever your situation may be. Take care of those things first. And all those other things, if they're not more important than your financial freedom in that moment, actually weigh that decision before you buy it. Not budgeting. Number 4, not budgeting, spending without a plan. You got to have a budget. Everybody has a budget. Every business has a budget. If you've been out here quoting Jay-Z, I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman. If you've ever quoted that and said it and meant it and you ain't got no budget, you lying. Straight up, you're lying. You feel me? You lying, dog. I don't even have no other nicer way to say it. You lying. Maybe you're using your liabilities, trying to do things to make people think you have more money than you actually have. Ha! And finally, stop thinking sales are specifically for you. Nobody put your name specifically on a sale to make sure that you could benefit better from buying it, okay? Not you specifically. They are there to make money. They are there to convince you to buy things, especially things that you do not need. But what you do need is to make sure that you can take care of your family, to make sure that you're leaving that legacy, to make sure that you can buy that home that you've been wanting, to make sure that you can buy that car you've been wanting, to make sure you can afford to put little Johnny in private school like you've been wanting. All those different things that you've been wanting, that vacation you've been wanting, all those things that you've been wanting are right on the other side of your decisions. So it's up to you to make sure that you're making those correct decisions. So in the meantime, make sure you like, subscribe, share this with 3 people. If you know 3 people that have been doing any of those things that's causing them to stay broke, share this video with them, share the audio with them, share one of the clips with them. Doesn't matter to me. Share it with them. And until next time, if you need me, you know how to find me. Peace.